All right, my brothers and sisters, what is up? I am back with another video and I'm here to talk about the purge of 2020. What's going on and what can you expect? The truth is that this change is already upon us. We have already been facing this change for quite some time now, and I honestly believe it began back when my spiritual awakening started back in 2012. Of course, we all heard about the Mayan calendar and the end of the world and all that stuff. There was a lot of hype around that. We had the movie and a lot of people spreading just propaganda and just misinformation. People were misguided. And of course, before that, if I think back to when I was younger, much younger, we had the Y2K scare, and there was all those issues going on with people thought, the world was going to end and the economy was going to collapse and everybody's going to be out in the streets with guns and fist fights, fighting over toilet paper. But that is when the truth really started to dawn on me, and I really started to realize that there's more to this experience than meets the eye. Of course, I already knew that going to school, growing up. Like, I always ask, what's the point? You're gonna go to college and get a job and you're just gonna perpetuate spinning this hamster wheel. There's got to be something more. There's got to be some more deeper meaning that each of us are born for. They say, oh, you have a purpose, you have a talent, and that's for, like, yeah, but school never made sense, right? But I wasn't able to piece the pieces together, and I believe that that's because back in 2012, information really started to come out, and the vibration of the planet really started to change, and people really started to open up because the energy was different. Don't ask me why. Like, there's some astrological reasons and some other stuff that correlates with that, but I'm not going to get into that in this video because I honestly believe that we are the creators of our reality. We are the deciders of our fate, and all that stuff that's so-called predestined, none of that really matters because we have the absolute opportunity to change any circumstance and flip it around. But the truth is, back to 2020 and this whole thing that's going on, people might be questioning, what's with this whole lockdown and what is going on? Why are these things coming to the surface? The truth is that the purge has already begun. The real change has already begun. It began a long time ago, and now I see that this whole lockdown might have been a form of damage control. They might have released certain information, and the media might be perpetrating certain aspects of the story to say that, keep people in a lower vibration of fear and uncertainty, because when they're uncertain, they're more likely to listen to people telling them what's going on for answers. They're more likely to believe whatever they're hearing because they're looking for a story, they're looking for an explanation, and they're looking for hope. Hopeless people are looking for hope. So the truth is that we're waking up, and we were already waking up. And even if this system and this imposition of rules and regulations and restrictions and lockdown, even if that was imposed on us with an intention to hold us back, the truth is that it's backfiring, because even though people are, locked in their houses, they have time for themselves. They're starting to question things they never questioned. If anything else, they're questioning the media, and they're seeing that the media is totally blowing things out of proportion, for one thing, but they're also questioning the power systems and the systems of control of information, because ultimately we make up our mind and our decisions based on the information that we're receiving and the information that we have on hand. We're doing the best we can in every circumstance, even if we have a lot of baggage that we're coming into decisions with. We're still trying to do our best. We're still trying to live a better life. We're still trying to make better choices. So with all that being said, I see that people are starting to question what they wouldn't have questioned before, because by imposing all these restrictions, the so-called controllers, they're actually kind of exposed themselves. All these systems that have come out into the open are now in the open. And what has begun by a couple people waking up is now spreading. And people that wouldn't have woken up are starting to wake up. The momentum is building. The momentum is building, and we are quickly reaching a tipping point. Like I said, there are some astrological aspects to show that this is the case, but I'm not going to get into that in this video because I believe that we are here for a reason right now, regardless of what astrology says, and we are capable of making the best decisions, and we are moving forward into a better reality, and we are learning that it's our decisions that create the better reality. We are learning that our decisions build on each other and compound. It's like Groundhog's Day, or if you make the best decision now, you're going to have a better decision to make later on. If you don't make the right decision now, you're not going to even know the decision that you lost. So that's what's going on now. That's what I see. And I find that we are quickly reaching a tipping point. We are quickly reaching a tipping point. Even if things wobble back and forth for a little while, they will soon, the momentum is soon going to gain, and it's soon going to crush that threshold. And we are going to see massive changes. We are going to see people changing. We're going to see people rising up like never before. People that we didn't even expect to. One example for me is, of course, London Real. Brian Rose from London Real. Shout out to Brian Rose. I commend all the work he's doing. But at first I thought, who's this dude in a suit talking to all these guys on the fringe, with these topics that aren't mainstream. Maybe he's just a form of damage control, trying to keep the fringe under control, trying to keep the fringe to think that they have a voice and that this is going on in the media, when really he's just there to divert the attention from the actual media. But now that they've shut down his channel, they've shut down his, they've censored him, they've pulled down his podcast or his streams, they've done all this stuff. He's realized, and he's stepping up, and we're starting to see people with huge massive amounts of money, huge massive amounts of incentive, and huge visions are starting to formulate out of this. So it's like the pressure creates the diamond. The same thing is happening now, and we are quickly reaching a tipping point. And of course, the eyes that watch, speaking back about the controllers, the eyes that watch know this. But they didn't predict that the fire would spread this way. They didn't predict this wildfire. They probably thought, yeah, people are going to talk, and those so-called conspiracy nuts are going to come out of the surface and they're going to start talking, but they didn't predict it would get this far. So, of course, the eyes that watch know this. The ears that listen know this. But they cannot comprehend this power. They cannot comprehend the light. The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness cannot understand it. It's like you have a dark room, and when you walk into a room that's pitch black, you can't see anything, you can't do anything. You're really stuck, and you're really at the mercy of the darkness, but the light shines in the darkness, and the light conquers the darkness. Just look at one candle. If you light a candle in the dark room, it's no longer a dark room. As dim as that light is, you can now see. And it changes the whole playing field. You're stepping up, you're leveling up, you're actually entering into a new dimension. And one candle shines in the darkness, and it's no longer darkness. It's no longer darkness. As dim as that candle is, it's no longer darkness. And in the analogy of the candle, we're talking about fire. This thing will spread like wildfire. We will see massive changes as the fire spreads. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. But we are here. We are now. And yeah, the eyes that watch, they know what's going on, but they can't comprehend this power. So they're struggling. They're going to try and manipulate through more fear and more hiding of the truth, concealing of what's really going on. But the truth is, what's really going on is people are awakening. People are waking up, and it's through the dark night of the soul that the latent energies, the darkest aspects of who we are brought to the surface. And by doing so, we're able to look at them and address them. We're able to look at them and change who we've been, what we've been focusing on, and whether we want a new reality, whether we want a new perspective or not. So all that is coming to the surface now for a reason, and the light is exposing that. And it might seem uncomfortable at first. When you're digging out the trash, when you're taking out the trash, it is kind of ugly. When you're cleaning up a room that's never been cleaned before, it is a mess. But once you get it clean, it's spick and span, you're spotless, and you're ready to move on into a new dimension, into a new reality. And that is what we're doing now. That is what's going on now, because ultimately this momentum has already reached a tipping point. It's already happening. It's already coming through, and we're already making massive changes. So that is what I wanted to share with you today, because I was feeling massively inspired. And like today I had to run some errands, and honestly, the roads are busy. People are out there doing their own thing. They're not buying into the propaganda. They're not buying into the fear. Of course, there are people that are. Of course, there are people that are locking themselves in the room. But I've seen only 2 people wearing masks today, and I've been driving around all day, and now it's almost 4:15. And yeah, back at home now, and we have seen just people sitting in the park, people hanging out, people going for walks, people driving. The roads are as busy as they would have been on a regular day. And this just shows that people aren't buying into the propaganda. And that's true, because even if you have like people locked in the house, if one person is waking up and one person is questioning, they're going to start talking to each other. They're going to start talking. And this information isn't staying hidden forever, guys. This information is coming out, and it's coming out now for a reason, because we're able to handle it. We're able to move forward, and we are moving forward. This is the time in which the world is changing. This is the time in which massive changes are taking place. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being a part of this high vibe tribe. This is amazing. We're moving forward and creating a world that we know we're deserving of, a world that we know we are capable of creating, and a world that we know that we were born to lead and live in. So thank you for the bottom of my heart. Thank you for watching this video, because by watching this video, I just know that you're part of this community. If you did find this video encouraging, give it a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button for more edifying content like this. Leave a comment down below, because every good word that you share helps edify everybody else. Even though we don't know each other here in person, we know each other on a soul level, and the internet connects us all, and we're all remotely connecting right now, even if we can't connect physically. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I gotta run. I gotta take all my groceries in and get to work editing more videos. I gotta practice the piano for 40 hours again today. And yeah, that's right, you heard right, 40 hours. And we are gonna be back with more edifying information like this. So keep it real, stay well, stay joyful, stay happy, and stay optimistic, because things are changing. We are changing, and we're moving into a new world. Have an amazing day, my friends. Joel signing out. Agape, salam, namaste. I'll see you in the next video.